And welcome back to the show. Your information station in northern Michigan is 1110, 1210, and 101 FM, WJML. My name is Norm Jones, and we're going to be talking about a benefit hockey game coming up right now. A couple of guests in studio right now. We have Mrs. Jody Mackey with us, and thank you for joining us here on the show.
Thanks for having me, Norm.
Tell us a little bit about this benefit that is coming up. People are watching this on Friday, February 9th, but tell us a little bit about what this game is, how it was born. You're the digital media expert.
Well, let's not go that far, but I am the digital media teacher at East Middle School. We produce a TV show and lots of other types of news programs. And the Grizel family is somebody that I've known for many years through the hockey organization. And
so let's stop there, the Grizel family.
Yep.
Let's talk a little bit about the background there.
Yeah, so Alex Grizel has passed away in October, unfortunately, to an overdose. And my son and Alex are similar in age and played hockey together. And when my son called and told me the news, I mean, obviously I was devastated, as are many people in the community who know the Grizels. It's a fantastic family. And, I just started thinking about ways that we could affect some change with this topic. And when Mr. Tyler Thurlby, who's Alex's best friend, decided to do the hockey game, I reached out to him and asked if we could produce a video that would shed some light on the opioid crisis in our area specifically. And he agreed.
Yeah, good. I did see one video, and it was really well done. A gentleman by the name of David, and David was talking about addiction, things like this. Alex, another victim of the opioid epidemic.
Yeah, David Cantrell, my students who are here with me, and I, we have probably interviewed 12 to 15 community members in the past month about the opioid crisis. So police officers, counselors, former addicts, all kinds of people. Yeah. So we've been doing that and gathering our research, and then we're putting it all together. So we're hoping that it's going to be very powerful and kind of inform the public that this isn't just something that happens in other places. It's happening right here, right now, to our kids.
That's going to be at Center Ice, 7 o'clock, and we'll talk about all that again, and other things that may be going on in conjunction with that. Right now we have Lexi and Morgan with us, and you are in middle school. How old was Alex?
Alex was 23 when he passed away.
So. I'm sorry, how old?
23.
23. Oh, okay. All right. Well, that's just tragic. How did you find out about this?
We found out through our teacher, Jody Mackey, but it was interesting to find out that he started at the same age as us and that it progressed through him in high school, and it just went on and on.
Yeah.
Until...
That's Morgan. Lexi, how did you get involved? What was your part? Tell us a little bit about how this whole thing came to be.
Well, like Morgan said, it was really just our class working together to, like, learning about the problem and working with it.
Were you shocked?
I was very, yes.
What are some of the things that really kind of surprised you most?
Well, you always hear the stories, and then you always think, it's not going to happen to me, it's not going to happen to me, but then you hear it happening, like, where, like, it's local, and it's still a problem.
Yeah. Well, there were situations, Mrs. Mackey, where we had, drugs have been around since the 60s. We'll hear about that in the 70s and things like that. But this may be of interest to the students that heroin was like, nobody touches that. Not that any of them were safe. People die from alcohol all the time, car accidents and such. But this is almost, has it become more socially, I almost have to assume it's become more socially acceptable?
I don't think heroin is more socially acceptable. I think what has happened from our research is that young people are getting addicted to opioids through pills, through prescriptions, okay? Whether they're being legitimately prescribed them or they are getting them at parties and things like that, and becoming addicted very quickly to opioids, and then it moves to heroin when those sources dry up, when they can't get the pills anymore. My understanding of Alex's situation and some other young people I know is that it's actually a really dark, quiet, isolated type of addiction when it moves into heroin and really becomes really devastating very quickly. Yeah.
Yeah, and obviously it's around. Let's talk to Morgan. Here's the $1 million question. Are you done with this video yet?
No, we are currently not done with this.
I had to
Video.
ask that.
Yeah.
You know, because I was tipped off. I was told, well, it's not quite done yet, but it's going to be really soon.
It's coming together, but
Post production stuff. You've already done the interviews.
yes,
Is that
all
what it is?
interviews have been done for a while, and we've been
Yeah.
putting out little snippets on Trojan TV just to get it out there, kind of give everybody like a glimpse of what's gonna happen, like the before sneak peek. But editing it and putting it together, it hasn't completely come. I mean, we have most of it done. We're kind of just putting our finishing touches up on it, but we've
Right.
had some technical issues too, which have prevented us from moving forward. But we've overcame, so it's okay.
All right. So I guess I'm going to ask, Lexi, are you doing an all-nighter tonight? Or, I mean, what does this entail? Are you involved in the technical end of it as well?
Kind of. I mean, it's a lot of people working on it, so it's everyone.
So you can want to explain, Shane?
why don't you
go
do-
ahead and explain that a former student has taken it from.
Yeah, we have a former student who is working with the clips, trying to put it together, like edit it in a more advanced
Cinematography.
fashion. Yeah.
Sure. Oh, yeah. Post-production's huge.
Yeah.
Yeah, that really keeps them busy. You have been going with Trojan TV. Let's go back to you. It's also, I think, West. Well, at least in one of the shots, I saw the picture of West Senior High.
Regarding
with the
what?
EMS. And regarding what is Trojan TV?
Oh, that's
I mean,
not
you
West.
need
Are
to
you
check it
kidding
out.
me? No way. Sorry,
No,
we're
just
gonna.
that's right. Go Trojans! Yeah.
That's right. No, I will just brag us up. We're the powerhouse of video news in Traverse City schools. So these kids have been producing very legitimate, real projects for many years, and this is probably the biggest we've ever done, and certainly the most mature topic they've ever taken on. But they've taken on other mature topics as well. But this one just hits close to home. One of the other interviews that we did is of a woman, Nancy, in our community who lost her daughter in April to prescription opioids. I found out who her daughter was. This kind of came through the channels, and she was my 9th grade student years ago. You know, she came through East Junior High, you know, back when we were the junior high, and 29 years old, and she's gone. Another student of mine, gone in September, you know, 30 years old. So we're losing people. 23, actually. 23 opioid-related deaths in 2017.
Well, here's a shocker. The average lifespan, you may not have known this, the average lifespan of Americans generally goes up by a few years or months due to medical advancements. It's actually gone down.
It's going down because of this.
Isn't that something?
It's crazy. The only epidemic I can think of in recent time that it could even compare to would be the AIDS epidemic back in the 80s. And what's interesting is it doesn't seem like nationally we've picked up on needing to address this sort of like we would have had to address that back then, you know. 64,000 people in 1 year.
It's amazing.
It's crazy.
Well, it's
you know?
crazy. It's exactly what it's
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah.
So, ladies, what is the game going to look like tomorrow night? What can people expect? When did doors open? All the meat and potatoes, you know. When did the doors open? Then?
Doors open at 6 o'clock, and it is for benefit of opioid related issues and stuff. So
Programs? Do you-
programs, and all the money. It's like a donation at the door, and all the money goes to
Addiction treatment services.
addiction
Okay.
treatment services.
Yep.
Yeah, ATS. So, what are you doing in preparation for this, Lexi? What are you doing to get ready for this? And how many people do you expect? It's very hard to guess
It's
how many
really
people
hard
you
to
expect. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm hoping to see a lot of people there because from what I hear, it's a very popular topic right now. But yeah, hopefully there are a lot of people there, and we have a ton of people from our school who are going to be volunteering as well. So hopefully everything goes well.
Yeah. Well, let's go ahead and talk a little bit too. Are you going to have a presentation or an awareness or what else is going to go with this in the way of educational information?
Right.
Probably,
Yep.
right?
Yep. So we do hope people will come a little early or stay a little after the hockey game in and of itself, because we are going to have up in the mezzanine area. There's going to be a number of organizations there with literature and information and people just there to talk about what's going on in our community and what those groups are hoping to achieve by getting the message out and working with one another. So we're excited to have probably 4 or 5 different booths up there. There's also a silent auction. And then our role is we will literally carry a giant screen out onto the ice in between periods, and we will play this documentary.
Who's playing? That's what I probably should ask.
Oh, well, so that's the fun part. So this will be a bunch of young guys that used to play hockey with Alex, whether friends or in different ways, you know. So, for example, my son's playing. Some of his minor, I think, league friends from out of town are coming. Former West players, former Central players. So it'll be a young man's game.
Yeah, should be exciting.
Should be a good one.
You know, hockey is one of those things. I'd never seen a hockey game in person, and this was at the high school level. And I was at Howe Arena, and I went in there and bang up against the plexiglass. It's nothing like seeing it on TV. When you see it in person,
Oh, it's
a fun
way
game.
better. It's my favorite game.
Fantastic.
It's a fantastic game.
Do you have a goal or any amount of money that you have in mind? And
You know, that isn't our wheelhouse. I should have asked Ann that. I don't know what they're looking for, but I do know that they have like an MC who's going to be, I think, kind of pushing and prodding some folks,
course.
you know,
Encouraging.
and encouraging.
That's
Right,
the
that's
word.
right. And I think in a humorous and fun way.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be very entertaining. And, you know, the main goal out of all of this, you know, we could throw money at this all day to different, you know, organizations. I think what we have to do is get educated. You know, that's what we're really, you know, that's the goal, is to get people talking about this, not being ashamed to say I have a family member who's suffering from this, and trying to figure out what we can do to stop
Right.
this. And it's really two-pronged, I think. It's one is prevention. Anybody that's never tried an opioid, don't do it,
Right.
no matter who you are, no matter what your doctor says, you know. And then the other part is, if you have a loved one suffering, there is help and hope out there, but we've got to get educated about how to tackle that.
what I've heard before is, I know this sounds almost cynical. It's not. Don't get involved. You might like it, and it could be literally the death of you.
Exactly.
You might actually go, wow, this is neat. And addictions of all types, you know, are out there. All right, ladies, I know that you're a member of the proud Traverse City Trojans. Over there we have Morgan, and she is going to join the United States Marine Corps.
No.
Do you have any idea? Well, go ahead. What's with the shirt? Just
Well, both of my parents are retired Marines,
oh,
so
yeah,
I
that's
just have
very
the shirt
cool.
on.
Oh, I have a lot of respect for Marines. So, do you guys have any idea of what you might do next for a project? Has this got you thinking about anything else maybe in the future?
I definitely want to do more like big projects, and I hope that in future DMC classes they also do like a whole class-wide project, like probably in the winter. I mean, at the start of the year, kids are just getting into it. Towards the end of the year, it's kind of just like kids are doing skits and stuff, or just finishing out other things. But I hope that like we stick with doing big projects that affect the community, like covering homelessness and like.
Do you have the
things.
media bug in you? I mean, is this really? I really wish this would have been around when I was a kid. We did old black and white movies that there was no talking. No, I'm kidding. But I mean, this is really exciting. This is cool. I look at famous birthdays, Lexi, when I'm out there doing the show in the morning at 7, and like 4 out of 6 people are YouTube stars. I mean, that thing is huge, man. And we're going to do a segment on that, as a matter of fact, during today's show. And we're going to talk a little bit about the technology and how things are changing. And, you know, one joke I saw the other day on television, it was like, you mean you still watch TV on TV? You know, I mean, things are really changing. What are the hottest? Is it Snapchat? Is it go ahead. Yeah, tell me about that, because I know that, of course, we do Facebook, we do YouTube. You guys are on YouTube. Do either of you go on camera, by the way?
Yes.
we do. We
Oh,
both,
okay.
We're both,
Lexi's one of our star anchors.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Mo
look
is
at
a
that.
producer.
Yeah, I produce the show and like write the scripts, but Lexi's usually the one who's on camera.
Does she usually blush like this, or is it something new?
No, Lexi's the professionalist one in there.
Yeah. All right. All right. Well, good to hear it. Well, thanks for coming in and talking to us about this today. And we want to remind people, Center Ice.
Center Ice. Yep. Yes, Saturday night. Northern Express misprint put Friday, so hopefully
Happens.
don't show up Friday night. We won't be there, but please come back if you do Saturday.
Better early than late. You can always come the next night. I mean, seriously, though.
Right,
That's good.
yeah, and there's
Good
gonna
to
be
know.
some other fun stuff. You know, there's T-shirts and hockey jerseys, and I know the silent auction has like vacation packages and Pistons tickets, and I mean, so we want it to be a mixture of fun and celebration of his life. At the same time, we want to just get that word out and educate people, and maybe shock some awareness into some people about how big of a problem this is right here at home.
Congratulations to all of you on this project, and I'm going to let you go so you guys can finish editing this thing, Mo.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And want you to have a great day. Thanks for being on the Norm Jones Show.
thank you.